What's happening, comic fans? It is Mike from the Hardcover Comic here. Today we're going to talk about one of my all-time favorite comic books ever, of all period, ever. The classic, The Metabarons by Alejandro Jodorowsky with artwork by Juan Jimenez. Seriously, one of the best things I've ever read in my entire life. In front of me I have the definitive edition. This is sort of the little slipcase end that goes here. Just took it off because it's fun to have on this side. Really love this book. We're going to look at both hardcovers, the slipcase as well. I'll do all the overhead view stuff. Really love this book. This edition is the perfect edition to get if you can manage to find a copy at a reasonable price. It's super expensive. It was a limited print run, that's why. Likewise with the Inkle. I forget what they called it. It was an anniversary edition, I think, though. But be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We got to do this before we get into the video. This is what we do on a regular basis: reviews, overviews, comic hauls, custom bind stuff, top fives, upcoming books, things like that. Things we're excited about that we've been reading or are going to be reading, planning to read. Check out our Patreon if you're interested in the opportunity to win a hardcover comic. We do this at the end of every month. We do a hardcover comic giveaway. Our winner gets to decide what they want. It's great. For every $1 you give, you get an entry into the drawing for one of these giveaways at the end of every month. We also give away digital codes whenever we possibly can. So there's a lot of fun stuff happening over there. Be sure to check that out. If you're interested in merch, just hit us up at our email. It's down in the description below. Now, without further ado, let's dive into the Metabarons Definitive Edition. So looking at the oversized slipcase here, this is sort of the slipcase you get. You can see it's kind of indented where that cap comes off. Really nice Juan Jimenez artwork on here. The spine is really nice and classy. I love the design on it. It's so well done. The Inkle recent slipcase edition was beautiful as well. I mean, the company they just know what they're doing. They know what they're doing when they put these things together. Humanoids is great. Their production in general is usually pretty damn good. Here's that sort of end cap from the slipcase. Just get the Metabaron on there. Really great stuff. Yeah, the series in general is, the reason I love it so much is because it sweeps across so many eras. There are so many characters that are involved in the Metabarons saga. It looks at 5 Metabarons in particular. And you know, all the people relative to them, right? The people closest to them that they're in relationships with. There's a lot of, drama. There's a lot of romance and violence and really crazy sci-fi ideas. Jodorowsky basically made this when he was trying to get a Dune film adaptation going, but he wasn't having much luck there. So the title of the Metabarons in general has a lot of influence from Dune. A lot of similar themes, if you're familiar with Dune. But anyway, the Metabarons focuses on a lineage of super warriors. It started off as the Kastakas, which is also a sort of a smaller story that Jodorowsky wrote that you can check out as well. It's pretty fun. But it's great because it gives you a lot of insight into the Hodoverse, the entire universe that he's built. Real quick, I'll just mention this. The Metabaron himself was first introduced in the Inkle. That's where he showed up initially, and then this sort of spin-off series came out of it. But you get the whole history of the lineage up until the Metabaron that you experience in the Inkle. So it's really cool. You get to see where this family has come from, what the ancestors were doing, how they got involved with the techno empire, things like that, how they got involved with the regular golden empire, golden planet, their sort of rituals, their traditions, how they evolve, what they stand for, their morals, their loyalty. There's a lot of great epic violence in this book, and Jimenez is such an amazing artist that he's able to render these beautiful spaceships and epic galactic battles. It's amazing. He's such a talented artist, and seeing it in this definitive edition size is definitely the best absolute way you can enjoy it. I mean, I don't know what else I can say. It's such a beautiful book. It's so well put together. The paper is sort of more of a newsprint style, but it's very thick. It's very high quality paper. You're getting the ribbon bookmarks in there as well. One thing about the book, it's originally it was a French title. It was written in French. And, with the translation, it's not terrible. You're not, it doesn't read bad, but some of it is a little cheesy. It's a little robotic. It's lacking that sort of personality. And maybe that's what the intention was, considering, we're talking about sci-fi far in the future, about a lineage of warriors that doesn't necessarily, emote too much. But nonetheless, there is a lot of really, really good character moments in this series. And I mean, the eye candy alone is such a great bonus. But this is a series I've come back to many, many times because there's just so much that happens within a single issue, a single chapter. And I mean, the plot twists and the insane amount of just crazy ideas. Jodorowsky comes up with so many wild ideas in this book to keep the story going. And, at times it can be a little cheesy. Like, something happened to work out because it was some technology that hadn't been referenced at this point, and now all of a sudden it's a thing, or they have these, whatever it may be, right? Things like that. But honestly, it's a very minor complaint. I really, really like this story. It's again, the twists and turns are great. You get this story sort of being narrated by a robot. It's one robot talking to another. Of course, now as I'm recording, I know Lothar is one of the robots, but I forget the other. Tonto and Lothar are sort of talking to each other about the history of the Metabarons. And what's really cool is at the end of each issue, it leaves off with Lothar sort of saying like, "Oh, how is this going to happen?" And it's a really great way, because it's not necessarily a suspenseful cliffhanger, but you do get to, you're sort of excited to see what comes next, because there are all these pieces in motion. There are all these plates spinning. It's really, really awesome. I can't recommend it enough. So what did you guys think of the Metabarons? Have you read it? Is it something you've wanted to read? Is it something you hadn't heard of until now? Let us know down in the comment section below. Let's get a conversation going. Let's get people involved. Metabarons is one of those books that is so critically acclaimed and people love it so much, yet all the time I find people who have never read it or have never heard of it, mostly because it does come from overseas. Either way, if you haven't checked out Metabarons up until this point, and you have to. It's definitely a classic, and it's one of the most exciting comics I've ever read, despite all the sort of negative things I mentioned in the video, which they are very minor. It's very, very minor. Love this edition as well. Very hard to get, like I said, but so worth it if you can. Let us know down in the comments below what you thought. Let us know what other kind of videos would you guys like to see. Do you have anything you'd like us to read that that really excited you and got you into comics, or a story that you really, really like? Let us know down in the comments below. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. We do this on a regular basis. This is what our channel is all about. Comics, whether in a hardcover or not now, even though we are called the hardcover comic, we do step outside the bounds of that definition. So let us know down in the comments below. We do have a Patreon. We got an email if you're interested in dust jackets, merch, questions, just to talk to us. Hit us up at our email, thehardcovercomic@gmail.com. And thank you all very much. Hope you guys are all doing well, staying safe and sound out there. If you're not, I wish you all the best. Until next time, this is Mike from the Hardcover Comic. As always, you stay classy, internet.